A bit of slap and tickle one-on-one, right? Sure, I can understand that. But like, you're to just go to town on me, slap me around, 1,000 men.
They're still children. My nephew's 18. He's still a child.
I'll send him to me then.
No, I'd absolutely never do that. Thousands and thousands of different men inside of you, all living at once, coexisting.
That's something I'd wank over, and I've got that.
1,000 men dude, what is she on about, dude? This is ridiculous. What? OnlyFans slut 10. Now let's fucking go. Let's go.
18 or 80, I'll take anybody. Now I found something that makes me super happy, and even my family see how much happier I am.
So your family support what you do?
Super supportive.
So they don't like you?
No, they're super supportive.
But they don't like you?
It's like hard work to get this body count.
What is your body count?
So this is hot on the heels, or, you know, basically Bonnie Blue was going to do some new deranged stunt on OnlyFans. Is Bonnie Blue banned from OnlyFans as porn star reportedly cancels glass box sex stunt with 2,000 men? It's some Indian website. In an now deleted video announcement that has also vanished from TikTok, the adult content creator had planned to be tied up, gagged, bent over begging inside a glass box in central London where the public could do whatever they wanted to. Oh, fucking hell, dude. Oh, speaking of which, we looked a bit at the Ayella stuff the other day. I think this is, you know, that Ayella girl person, that weird whore who does OnlyFans and doesn't wash and stuff like that, right? She basically posted a take, and I think this links to that song that we listened to. But basically she posted a take like, oh, this is just like a fairly normal exhibition of women's sexuality. And it was like, yeah, maybe if you're, you know, severely abused or something, you might be. But no, I don't think it's a normal expression of human sexuality to, you know, put yourself in a glass box and get molested by thousands of men in fucking London or whatever. So, yeah, that caused a little bit of controversy for Ayella, I think. Yeah, she had to go private. There was a bunch of, like, radfem types that were like, yeah, this is ridiculous. I can't believe she's saying this. This is, like, porn-sick behaviour from someone that has been molested. Terrible business. No, we've done the pirate drama, unfortunately. We've done that. We've moved on.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Michelle.
Hi, I'm Bonnie.
Lovely to meet you. Thanks for coming today. So I saw what you were doing online, and I thought it'd be nice to just have a sit-down conversation, pick your brain a bit, have a better understanding as to who you are and how you became who you are now.
Yeah, okay, good.
At what point did you start creating the content that you create?
Coming up 2 years ago now.
Okay.
So it's still not that long. I'm still very new to it.
And what were you doing previously?
Recruitment. Well, I had like 2 years off because I just relocated to Australia. So I had 2 years living by the beach, living like a nice life.
Yeah.
But then prior to that, my full-time job was recruitment.
And then what, because that's a big jump.
Yeah, a slight difference.
It's a big, like that's recruitment to, what would you classify yourself now, work-wise, if someone says, what do you do for a living?
OnlyFans, but people call it prostitution, slut, slag, whatever.
Yeah.
So I take any word.
Oh, you're just happy with anything?
Yeah, like I'm not.
She does look like the kind of person that does that sort of thing. Like, you go into an office looking for a job, she's the kind of woman that you would expect to see that kind of look. Do you know what I mean? Help you with your CV, stuff like that. Seems like she was helping with a bit more, possibly. I mean, look, the thing is, I'm not really like, if someone wants to do some sort of sexualized content for money, I hate the ever-increasing acceptance of it. That's what I find, a bit annoying, a bit stupid. Well, not annoying, it's just like, kind of destructive, or something like that. He's going to now try to humanize whores. Stylo, can you stop, like, second-guessing everything I'm going to say, dude? It's really fucking annoying, bro. Anyway, let me tell you about whores are human too, and you should respect them, okay? It's the extremity that I think is more egregious here. I mean, her, and who's the other one? Lily Phillips. Her and Lily Phillips have just, gone rocketing down this absolutely deranged pathway where they just want to do the most extreme possible sex act to, like, one-up each other, And whilst it is definitely influenced by, well, I want to say it's somewhat influenced by the market, but it's like, who is out there going, I need to see a woman get banged by 1,000 dudes? It's like, who is asking for that? Who are these people that want to see this?
Phase, like when you do OnlyFans, no matter the length of your content, you can be called, oh, you're selling your body, you're a prostitute, you're a slut. Like, so I take any word that comes with it.
But essentially, that's the truth, though, isn't it? Like, you are selling your body.
Yeah.
So you don't mind the repercussions of what comes with it.
No, it's hard work being a slut. Like, I've earned the title.
So you enjoy being called a slut. Okay, so it's not like an offensive thing. So
no.
So
oh, here we go. This is the Ayella stuff. The reason why we shouldn't bully Ayella, we're told, is that it hurts her feelings. But hurt feelings as a real harm aren't any more rational than disgust as a real harm. And by that metric, Ayella is doing far more harm than any of her haters. Just search my name on Twitter. Dude, right. Yeah, it sucks to get criticised on the internet. But I've seen this Ayella person's takes. And it's totally understandable why people are going to be fucking outraged about what she's saying. Like, she's got this very, like, it's almost, you know, when someone, it feels like they're trying to intentionally come up with the most provocative take they can to piss people off. And then they get mad when they get, like, heavily criticised for it. And it's like, well, yeah, you're trying to be, like, if you're going to be controversial, you are going to court controversy. And on top of that as well, why are you searching your own fucking name? Why are you looking up your own name on Twitter, especially in the midst of you giving some sort of take about how it's normal sexuality for a woman to stuff herself in a box to get molested by thousands of men? Of course people are going to be upset about that and have a go at you for that. Of the high number of mentions of viciously negative, it's so crazy that just being an openly weird, slutty woman generates such universal hate, completely unaffected by high commitment to trying to be kind and truth-seeking. The thing about this that makes me saddest isn't that people hate me, but the overwhelming hate with nobody defending me. People are ashamed publicly to support me. They don't want to be called a simple cringe, I get it, but it's a little pang that makes me feel alienated. And then obviously all the simps were like, oh yeah, God, Ayella's such a good, amazing person. We sort of tapped into this because I think we listened to the song that guy released about Ayella. So I think that was part of this. I think this guy wanted to fucking... Oh no, that was something else. He was the 100th person to sleep with her or something. I think I had some shock when I saw how positive the reception was to the Decca photo. People just... Okay, what is the Decca? What is that? People just overwhelmingly called him base Chad, respect for him increased. I knew it would be better than the way people treated me, but I don't think I expected the gap to be so huge. I'm a meme, hating on me is cool, and fueled by disgust response and sexism. You can gain points in your local tribe by signaling that you think I'm stinky, or riddled with STDs, or emotionally broken. I mean... there's a bit of truth in that. There's a bit of truth in that. Like, sure. But then, that's because, you know, there's a perception that there is some truth to that broadly. But, you know, I mean, I'm personally not really interested in getting out there and, like, shitting on Ayella Girl. I don't really care that much about it. But I can't really blame people that hear about her and just have this response of wanting to talk shit about her, you know? It's like, when you act in such broad opposition to, like, a societal standard that we have, of course, people are not going to like that and going to lash out against it, you know? Particularly on very hostile, aggressive platforms like Twitter. I just don't understand why you'd name search yourself. I mean, I can't even remember the last time I bothered to look myself up. It was probably years ago at this point. Because what's the point? What do you get from it? You search your name, and there's, at best, people saying mild, like, nice things about you, maybe if you're lucky. Or you get a bunch of people just talking shit about you. And you can't respond to it without looking like a loser who name searches yourself. So what's the point? You know, you're just better off just ignoring it. Especially if you're going to post provocative, controversial takes. You're better off just not ever looking at that. Other people laugh at your jokes. You feel good. Nobody is brave enough to say. Right. Okay, it doesn't continue on. In this moment, I feel kind of broken. Just look at the quote tweets already starting in response. I wish I weren't so affected by this, but it's pretty overwhelming and heartbreaking. I'm so sad the world is shaped in this way. The quantity of mean direct replies sent me over the edge. I've gone private. I don't like this life anymore. I just... yeah, it sucks. It sucks to people talking shit about you, but I don't really have much sympathy for your complaints when you are trying to provoke those responses by being as controversial in the way that you talk about things as you are, you know? Like, she posted, like, this okay. She posted about how she had a birthday gangbang with, like, detailed analysis of who did what and who came where and stuff like that, right? And it's like, obviously in the kind of culture we live in, that is going to be seen as abnormal, and it's going to be taken as a provocative act. You know, you must understand that posting about your birthday gangbang is going to be seen as a provocative thing to do. And many people are not going to like it. And whilst, you know, it's like you can't expect the world to change around you. At the end of the day, you just got to accept that many people are not going to like that. And if you don't want people to fucking talk shit about you, well, you probably shouldn't post it on the internet. You know, it just seems a bit foolish that, you know, you're being as provocative you are and you're looking yourself up. And what a stupid thing to do. You know, and I don't think the likes of Bonnie Blue are doing stuff like that, you know? But who knows? Okay, what is this? Okay. Oh, is that Ayella there in the picture? And everyone else is blurred out? So it's basically like a reversal of the five black guys and the white woman. I won't show it just to be on the safe side because I think you can see a tit there. But it's like 6 white women looking at him, the guy, and it's a guy that got in some controversy over a post about MAGA and whether it's okay to kill them or not or something like that. Oh, good point. I hadn't thought about that actually. Dude, I need to use it. I need to use it or lose it. Where is it? Display capture. Here we go. No, that's the wrong thing. Filters, that's it. We don't need as much pixelation for this one. There we go. Perfect. Boom. There we go. Look, see, that's ideal. That's ideal. You can see it perfectly, can't you? You get it. You get it. So I'm guessing people... Oh, dude. Fuck me, dude. I can't show that. Dude, I don't know why I'm scrolling down on that. Even pixelated. It's probably not a good idea. So yeah, people thought that was Chad. Yeah. I mean, there's probably some discrepancy you could talk to of like one man surrounded by 5 women wonderful. In a sexualized way is based in Chad.
Depressed people.
I don't like this life anymore. Way to signal that bullying works, Ayella. If people do things you don't like, just bully them until they quit.
Thank you, Caleb, for the $5. I could agree with that. That a man fucking 5 women at the same time is based in Giga Chad. A woman getting fucked by 5 men is like, you're a slutty whore. And I would probably just apply the same perspective that, you know, like I think that is inadvisable behavior that you shouldn't participate in without having like, you know, a super like hardline moral or ethical thing. It's just like, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that, you know? Sure, but the lock thing's stupid. I mean, it's funny. It's a funny meme, I guess, but it's not really true. Like, a vagina is not a lock, and a penis is not a key, obviously.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Chud, do you ever plan to get back together with Dimon Mama? I miss when you had a thick and illustrious e-girlfriend.
Thank you for the $5. I mean, I've not spoken to or about the. Well, I've not spoken to Demon Mama for years, and I can't remember the last time that there was meaningful coverage of Demon Mama on the channel. I doubt it. Men and women are different. We have different reproductive strategies, and our sexual activity will naturally be viewed differently. If that's sexism, then whatever, it's real life. Okay. Yeah, I to a point, but when you get to the point, like, if a guy was like, I'm going to fuck 100 women in a day, I'd see that as, like, you know, in a similar vein to the Lily Phillips thing. Something like that, I don't know.
You are like a professional hoe, and you're happy about that.
Yeah, it's like hard work to get this body count.
What is your body count?
It's coming up to 2,000.
2,000 men?
Yeah, 2,000. It is high.
Okay, so what was your life like growing up? So prior to, like, everything that you've done, what was you like as a child?
Just like, I had the most normal childhood. I've got, like, mum, dad, sister, lived in, like, a small village. We got, like, I had hobbies alongside school. I wasn't naughty at school, but, like, yes, I didn't do my homework. Like, yes, I'd be late for class. So it was just, like, a cheeky, but not naughty, not, like, mischievous or anything like that. Was doing, like, dancing alongside school. So very just normal childhood.
So was there, like, any experienced trauma in your childhood that you can recall, like, that would have...
Zero trauma, no daddy issues. People look into my past a lot and they're like, there must be something, like, something must be happening.
Because it is a big thing to just go from, like, having this beautiful life in a village to people on camera. That's like...
It was a beautiful life, but God, it was boring. It's the same as everybody else's life. Like, nothing happened.
Did you have a high sex drive growing up?
Yeah. Exhibitionism and narcissism, mate. The narcissism thing, I'm a bit like, I don't want to get into that. And I'm not diagnosing necessarily, there's probably something in that. But yeah, like, some people just like to be watched and stuff. I don't know, it's like, you know, not my cup of tea personally. But yeah, some people like that, don't they? Dude, there's all sorts of wild stuff that people get, swinging and stuff like that. It makes me feel sick. I can't even, you know, it's horrific to me. The idea that you're sat there and you're just watching some other fella fuck your miss, it's just like, oh God, it's horrible to think about. But some people like it. Some people enjoy that, I guess. And then in this case, obviously, you know, she probably does elicit some level of pleasure out of, you know, being watched or all the crazy shit she gets up to. But I think that's like something wrong in your brain. I think it's like an abnormal sexual behavior to get to that level with it, you know?
I wouldn't say it was that high. Like, I was in a long-term relationship. So, yes, I had a lot of sex, but it was just with my partner.
Yeah.
I lost my virginity quite young, but still, there was no trauma around it. I just chose to lose my virginity young.
At what point when you were doing your recruitment?
Yeah.
Or what was it? Like, what ticked in your head that was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go and be
I'm going to be a slut. Yeah. So, like, the whole time during recruitment, I just thought, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Everyone would come in and have stories and go, oh, in my past I did this, or, oh, I want to do this in the future. And all I thought is, oh, I finished school, I've gone into apprentice and recruitment, and now I'm going to do recruitment for the rest of my life. And I was like, is this as good as it going to get?
Well, no, because there's like a million other jobs.
Right, dude. I mean, I do get that. But, like, really? Going from recruitment to, like, insane... I mean, even just doing a bit of, like, feet posting on OnlyFans or something. I could get that, a bit of excitement. But it's, like, quite extreme to go to, like, 1,000-man gangbang and then get stuffed in a box for a bunch of men to molest you. It's quite a lot, isn't it? Bit much. Bit, you know, bit rich for my blood.
Yeah, but still, like, for me, it was very office-based, and money is shit.
But, like, you're a pretty girl. You could have gone into modeling, you could have gone into acting, you could have been, like, an influencer.
It's also just very hard to get into that.
But so it's people.
Not really.
Okay, dude, this is crazy to me because it is also hard to get into OnlyFans. Like, the amount of women that try it and aren't successful, like, her success is littered on a pathway of people that haven't made it. So I don't really understand this idea that it's like, I mean, obviously the physical act of it is like you just get fucked on camera and put that on the internet, but like actually growing, I mean, it's like similar to being a streamer in terms of you need to grow your profile and get people watching your content to grow your audience.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Sash must be completely numb at this point. I need to change the stream title as well. Otherwise people are just going to come in and ask about pirate software. She does look quite rough. You know, like for her age, I mean. She looks like older. You don't. I think maybe she had something done to her face or something like that.
Really? Like, I love that, and that's what I've got passion about.
You have passion about having multiple men entering your body on a continuous basis.
Multiple orgasms a day. Like, sex is focused on pleasure and enjoyment.
Yeah.
I just get a lot more of it than most people.
But how can you find pleasure in short spurts? Because was it 100 men that you had sex with?
I did 1,057.
How's that possible?
It was a lot of work. It was sort of like a rotation. Every 40 seconds, somebody new was inside of me.
You say that so blankly, like it was just like...
Well, because like for the logistics to work, it was very structured.
Yeah,
it
so how did you
just
find pleasure in like short stops?
Like, I love the idea that I don't know who's going to be inside of me. There was times I was in doggy and I'd turn around and I would have no idea who's in the back of me. And I love that.
That's disgusting.
I love it.
As a woman...
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Some Harvey Weinstein verdicts we're just read if you're interested, big man.
Thank you very much for the tip. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, I did see that on my BBC News app, so maybe we'll take a look at that. I mean, dude, bro. I don't know, man. It's like, yeah, it sounds fucked, but I don't know. Like, is there any reason to doubt her? I don't think, because, you know, once you get to a certain level, you don't need to do these stunts, and you could just like do other things. But she seems to like be seeking out, and obviously, yes, there's an element of wanting to get to like do some crazy stunt for attention's sake. But yeah, she probably loves it. I don't know, dude. Very, very bizarre to think about, because that is and this is why it's like Ayella gets so much shit, because she says that's like, you know, she suggests it's like a normal expression of women's sexuality. But for many women, they don't like the idea of that. They think that would sound horrible and disgusting. Do you know what I mean? So, of course, people are going to take issue with that, because they're going to be outraged by the idea that this is what women want, which is basically what you're saying, right? That's how people interpret it, at least. Many women would just be kind of grossed out by this. So, bit of rage bait as well, possibly, yeah.
Women, there's just no self-respect there, or like no self-worth at all. There's no value. Like there's no value inside of you for you to just be like, anyone can fuck me.
Oh, there is. Like, I value myself so much more.
Yeah, sure, Stylo. I can accept that. Yeah. I mean, obviously, women have got different ideas about what they like. But sure, some women might like the kind of conceptual idea or something like that. But to actually go through with it, I mean, no, they wouldn't want to go through with it, you know? But I think even that is like, you know, it's like some men have got weird kinks.
But how do I
that,
make
you know,
money off depressed people?
Brandroid became a member. Brandroid celebrates 16 months of membership. This is what we get for letting women make their own decisions.
Yes, very true. Very true. Thank you for the membership.
Now that I do this, as opposed to in recruitment. When I worked in recruitment, I was given orders. I was told when I could have days off. If a family member was ill, I had to book that as annual leave to go and see them.
Yeah.
Now I get to spend unlimited time with my family, and I get to do what I want to do.
Which is people.
Yeah, so if that includes 1,000 people that day, that's exactly what I do. Like, I'm in control. And I'm not saying this for everybody. I'm not saying you should 1,000 people, nor could you maybe do it. But if I want to do that, it's like my body and I take control of it.
Yeah,
and
of
as
course.
a woman, we all say about how if we feel empowered by something, we should do that.
Yeah.
I feel empowered when I'm disrespected by over 1,000 men. Like, I have to remind them, spit on me, slap me, choke me, pull my hair, because they're too polite to me.
It's like an act.
A bit of slap and tickle one-on-one, right? Sure, I can understand that. But like, you're to just fucking go to town on me, fucking slap me about 1,000 men. Dude, I keep getting these blue stack notifications because I've got it open.
Like, I don't genuinely think you could have slept with 1,000 men and be so happy about it.
Yeah, no, I was so happy. Like,
I feel like maybe you've done it for content, or maybe you've done it for like clout, or you've said you've done it just to say you've done it, but you
I can show you the video.
No, I'd pass on the video, thank you, because I think I'd be sick. But
well, then you can't say it's not true.
I'm just saying, I can't fathom that actually being a thing. I couldn't imagine a woman happily allowing 1,000 men into her body and smile about it and say, well, I liked it. I didn't know.
So would
who
you
was
feel
inside
better
me.
if I was crying and upset about it?
No, I'd prefer if that's really your thing that you get off on.
Yeah.
That you just go and do it in private.
Why do I need to do it in private? I'm proud of it.
Yeah, but
it's
you
like
shouldn't
going, oh, I've done it.
Dude, I don't even know if you could set something like that up in private. I think the public spectacle of it makes it so that 1,000 guys turn up. I mean, imagine if you wanted to set this up privately, where the fuck are you going to find 1,000 guys from to do this? Like, you need to publicize it so that people, I guess you could do like a post about it. Hey, Facebook post, you know, your family might see it, but that's a price you're willing to pay. I want 1,000 men to come and gangbang me. Please apply within.
An amazing piece of art, but I should hide it away.
But it's not, because doing art and becoming a cum bucket is two completely different things.
No, it's very much art. Like, I see it as
It's absolutely disgusting. Someone linked the video so I know how to avoid it. That is a funny reference. But I just don't get it. What is the pleasure you're eliciting from watching that? Just 1,000 guys. It just sounds gross. And like, you know, what is the fucking, where's the sizzle? Where's the sizzle exactly?
It's not art.
It's fun.
It's not. People aren't going to pay to go to a theatre and watch you get dug out by 1,000,000 men. It's just not, it's not art.
I think you find my bank balance disagrees with what you've just said.
I'm saying that
Cum bucket fetish. Oh, so it's just the idea that she's getting used multiple times or so. I don't know, man. It's just, ugh. I guess if you're into that, it makes more sense. But for me, it just sounds gross. The sizzle is the feeling in a cooch afterwards.
they wouldn't put it in a theatre.
Well, I'm actually doing my own theatre next month.
Oh,
so
yeah.
maybe you could come to that and you see the amount of men that pay to watch me be in a glass cage for 24 hours.
To do what in a glass cage?
Well, I'll just be like a zoo animal. They can come if they want to fuck me, they can fuck me. If they just want to stare at me, they're welcome to. But I'm going to be tied up in a glass box for a couple of days, and my body is for everyone. It's happening in June.
So you're going to get paid to be in a box and just let anyone do whatever they want to you.
Wait.
Yeah,
And
but obviously I get paid once.
Guys, I just want to be clear. I am not taking time off for this later this month, okay? I'm not participating in this. Although, to be fair, I think it's cancelled now. I think she ended up cancelling it, didn't she?
I make the video, but the actual act is completely free. I'm not saying, oh my God, for you to see me naked, you've got to pay loads of money. No, it's free of charge.
Yes, I'm going to the Bonnie Blue Glass Box 2,000 man gangbang extreme, but it's to shake my head the whole time so people know that I disagree with it.
Anybody can come.
Is there like a limit or a certain standard of man that can be around you?
No,
Or
as long as
inside
they're
of
of
you?
legal age, like anybody and everybody's welcome. I don't discriminate. Whether you're fat, skinny, small, big dick, anyone.
Dude, I do wonder if like one day I might get like fucking paparazzi snapped somewhere by like a viewer or something. But it's never happened so far. But could you imagine if it was like I was sort of seen alongside Bonnie Blue or something crazy? Getting snapped. Well, what's Chud doing there? What's going on there? Chud will be protested out front with an anti-circumcision sign. What the fuck?
Out of the 1,000 men, there was a lot of barely legal boys. Do you not have a problem with the fact that they're
Okay, I must say I do kind of like obviously the whole Fresh 18 thing. What I do like, you know, I think it's a bit silly because like they are an adult at the end of the day, and that's to determine that they can do that if they want. But it is nice to see a bit of a commentary on the fact that like There are some young lads getting wrapped up in this. And there's always been this kind of criticism of like, you know, the teen, 18 kind of porn industry stuff. It was nice to have a bit of like a sort of appreciation of what about these young lads? Like, they should also probably get a bit of a commentary if we're going to apply the same standard to women, you know?
Literally borderline underage.
No, because they're 18.
But they're still children.
Yeah, but they're 18.
Well, okay. See, that's retarded. They're not still children. By every conceivable fucking metric or definition, they're literally not children. They're fucking adults. You can say there's something weird about it and unusual and have a commentary on it. No, dude. No, what do you mean? No! The legal age to be in a porno is 18. If you're 16, you wouldn't be allowed to fucking get involved because you're fucking under 18. What do you mean? Culturally, the age of consent thing, it's like, you know, dude, you guys are got it so twisted about our country. We're not like fucking the pedos over in Italy, okay?
What if he was 17?
Well, then no, because that'd be illegal.
Would you still, if it wasn't on camera?
No.
No, so your limit is 18 years
Yeah.
old, but they are still...
I'd happily take someone like on their 18th birthday. Like, no problem.
How old
because
are
they're
you?
18.
Okay, dude. Okay, see, that's the thing, is respect her for trying to bring some sort of like, you know, standards here or something like that, right? But can we be fucking realistic? That if a guy was sat there, if some like 25-year-old porn guy was sat there and was talking about like checking the ID of someone, they just turned 18 and then they do a porno, there'd be like justified outrage about that. But it feels like, you know, you can say it about young lads and it's just the perception that men are just like unquestionable sexual beings. But no, it's not different. I don't think it is different. I don't think it is different. I think that when it comes to pornography, even though I think fundamentally 18 is the age that we've determined that they're able to do it, I wouldn't call them children necessarily. I just don't like this idea. It's very groomy, this idea of waiting till someone is 18 to shoot a porno with them, you know? When I think it should just be like, you know, this idea that it's like freshly 18, they're shooting a porno. That's the problem. Not like an 18-year-old, you know, a 20-year-old sleeps with an 18-year-old and that's a problem because they just turned 18. Not that. It's the porno stuff that I find particularly uncomfortable, you know? Because it's about like life experience, knowledge, you know. You at 18 are going to potentially have that footage around for the rest of your fucking days, right? And that is something that I don't think you can necessarily conceptualize when you've just turned 18. You know, the eternal nature of the internet and the fact that that could come back to haunt you in 5, 10, 15 years. Because unless you're going to commit to being a porn star, I mean, which may not fucking happen, particularly for a male, then that could just end up being embarrassing footage that ends up coming to bite you in the future.
18, 25.
And you don't mind 18-year-olds?
No problem.
Do you not think it's damaging to them?
No, usually they'd have sex unprotected. Somebody they don't know, it could be on a one-night stand, they've been drinking, maybe drugs are involved. They're going into an unsafe environment that they don't know. That girl the next day could say, hey, I didn't consent to that. Hey, that was rape. Or, hey, you didn't know what you was doing and you actually hurt me.
Yeah.
Them having sex with me, I'm saying, look,
See that, there's some truth. There is some truth to that. But it's like the filming aspect that is being missed there, you know?
He's a guinea pig. Try and error, whatever you want, because I'm consenting to this and I want to educate you on a woman's body. Because yes, you can learn sex education at school, but how much do you learn from a middle-aged teacher that's not been laid for years?
So you're just like a modern-day walking
What?
sex education
Dude.
lesson
Yeah,
for
I know.
underage children.
Learn sex education by taking a little whiff of my battered snatch. Show me, what is this, dude?
Well, no, because they're 18.
Well, barely legal people, yeah.
And if you've got an issue with the age, then take it up with the government. Because I go by the rules, and the rules is 18.
Yeah, the rules is 18. Just because it's legal doesn't mean it's morally right.
So you've got an issue with the age gap.
But you're not in a relationship with these people. You're just barely legal people.
Yeah.
That is the problem. They're
It's
still
completely fine.
children.
Bro, the fact that like barely legal, and then she's like, yep. And it's like, well, hang on a minute. Like, that's like a very pedophilic coded term. Barely legal. Because obviously, if that's the kind of thing that you're interested in, I mean, you know, that's a kind of like a bit of a, what's the right word? A condemnation on the kinds of things you're into. But, you know, she's just biting the bullet.
When they're barely legal, there should be some sort of respect or like a boundary in place. If you want to go around and exploit your body, that's completely up to you. Like I said, it's your body. But then you're exploiting children's bodies at the same time.
Well, no. I don't. So that terminology, I mean, I would imagine that probably over time it's become like less, what's the right word? Like it comes across very pedo-esque, doesn't it? So I presume they've probably moved away from that sort of terminology, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. But she's just kind of like, yep, barely legal, sure.
An 18-year-old's not a child's body.
Barely legal. They're still children. My nephew's 18. He's still a child.
Oh, send him to me then.
No, I'd absolutely never do that.
Oh my God, dude. Send him to me. What? She's like, she's somewhat rage baiting, I think.
Money off depressed people.
A modicum of validity can be found within her statements, in it.
True, Dofo. Thank you for the $5.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
She's hunting for them. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, and Fix as well. Bonnie Blue is a true debate pervert. True. Thank you for the super chats.
Hopefully I'll find him in my queue one day.
No, I don't think he will, because he has like respect for himself. I don't know if something
the
you're
men
familiar
that
with.
come see me have a lot of respect.
They don't, unfortunately. I know you might think they do.
How many of you asked that I've slept with?
I would never ask anyone that you've slept with, because I don't know
So you
anyone
don't know that you've not got respect.
I know enough by someone.
Okay, but the thing is, you might have self-respect, but I think, you know, you may be judged by a third party as not having respect for yourself if you're willing to be,
okay, that's wonderful.
Number
but how do I make
30
money
even
off
in the
depressed
1,000 queue. She seems so soulless, and I'm not Christian. Yes, I know what you mean. Thank you for the $2. You know, obviously people are going to take a negative view of you as someone who is willing to participate in such a deranged act of sexual deviancy to the point where you're like number whatever, you know? And I think there's, you know, as much as we're painted as these crazed sex beasts, I think that many men would see that as like, they'd be like, oh God, that's kind of gross. What the fuck? I mean, if you had to pick a number one would obviously, like if you had a gun to your head, you would obviously want to try and angle for number one. Because then at least you'd hopefully be freshly showered and whatnot, and you wouldn't have to worry about all the other fucking loads knocking about in there. But yeah.
Going and queuing up to fuck someone for 40 seconds, they don't have any respect for
Sometimes
themselves.
they have longer. I do it on a regular basis. But
okay.
The women like to judge these men so heavily that queue and fuck me and everything else. No one's ever gone out of the way to ask them, how do you feel? Like, how does this make you feel? Or what's brought you here today? Nobody. Women just sit and judge these men for having sex with me without even knowing them. And that's one thing I don't do. I do not judge someone unless I've spoken to and met them. But women are more than happy to do that.
And that's more of a reflection on them and you. It's not about judging them, though.
You just said they have no respect for themselves.
Yeah, but they don't. That's
judging
a statement.
them, saying they have no
respect.
That's
a factual statement. That's not a judgment.
It's
I'm not judging.
factual when you don't know.
But it is factual, because to do something like that, to do what you do, it means you don't have any respect for yourself. To do what they
being a
did,
porn star?
It's not a porn star, though, is it?
Okay, what are we calling it? Prostitution?
Well, it's basically prostitution, isn't it?
Okay,
Modernised prostitution.
so prostitutes don't have respect for themselves?
Absolutely not. How can you sit there knowing you let 1,000 men have sex with you in 12 hours and say, I have respect for myself? Because you don't have respect for yourself. It doesn't matter whether you enjoy it.
But the problem is like, you know, this is just a stupid point, because obviously Bonnie Blue can just say, well, I've got respect for myself, and you can't really challenge that in any meaningful way. You know, you'd have to go at it from the perception of others
off depressed people
on her self-respect or something. Because obviously you can just go, yeah, I've got respect for myself, and that's it. Like, what can you say?
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Imagine
like she's
being a
losing
woman and listening to this literal chum bucket speak negatively about them, lol.
Thank you, Dave, over the $5.
Or not. You can enjoy it with one man privacy in your own home.
You don't need so boring. Just because I want to make a sex tape and post it, if I want to do that and the people I'm filming with consent to that.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
A girl can't get her back blown out by 1,000 without being judged. The society we live in now, wow.
Thank you, Willis May, for the $5. I think you probably need to just make some sort of comments about like the physicality of it, the impact it has on your body, something along those lines. I think that's the kind of angle that you really want to be taking with it. Because this other shit is just like, oh, you don't have self-respect. Well, I do have self-respect. Okay. That's the end of that.
Then I don't really see why people judge it.
Well,
Really?
they are judging you, yeah, because it is discussing what you're doing. But that's just a fact. Again, it's not a judgment. I'm not.
No, that's your
it's
opinion.
Not my opinion. No, that's
Opinion
a fact.
and facts are very different.
Yeah, exactly. My opinion is that I think you're actually a really pretty girl. My fact is that you are a whore and you are a prostitute. That's a fact.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is disrespectful and it's disgusting.
No,
That's
you
a
find it
fact.
disrespectful.
No. The world finds it disrespectful and disgusting. The only person who doesn't have a problem with it currently is you and any boy who's getting satisfaction from it because
I wouldn't
they're
say the
barely
world.
legal.
Okay, dude. It's not a fact though, is it? You're making a subjective analysis and judgment about who they are and using certain terminology. Dudes, yeah, we need to get Stylo interviewing these fucking bitches. That's what we need. We need some black excellence up in this fucking bitch. Dude, we need a black guy that doesn't just immediately fuck her because that's what she's fucking gobbling BBC. We need someone to hold her to the fucking feet to the fire. But yeah, it's just like, you know, that's not a fact, is it? Like the fact would be the physical act that they're doing or something like that, right? And then how you categorize that or frame that is obviously going to be, you know, that's going to be your opinion of it, you know? Because even prostitute is not, like, I mean, I would say it's a fair characterization, but you could even argue the toss about that. Dude, Stylo's going crazy, man. I need a chastity cage. They might assault me for the mock of BBC. Okay, dude.
Go.
I'd say I've slept with obviously nearly 2,000 people.
Yeah.
They don't find it disgusting.
Of course they do. They probably think you're disgusting.
I've got over 600,000
Well,
subscribers.
why are we arguing over whether or not someone is disgusting or not? That is a personal value judgment of someone's behavior. Like, there are things you can talk about with this. Like, here, for example, here's an angle that you could take on this, right? So, for example, in Lily Phillips' planning for the gangbang thing, there was talk about them not truly verifying certain sexual aspects of them. Like, you know, they weren't correctly verifying, like, STD status and stuff like that. Or they got people in where they couldn't reasonably verify STD status. That's something you can go at. You can talk about certain behavior potentially spreading and putting forward STDs because there hasn't been the correct verifiable checks or something like that. Yeah, that's something you can go at. You can talk about the potential physical harm to your body of engaging in these extreme sex acts. That's the kind of thing that you can fucking go at, right? But instead we're talking about what people think of her as disgusting and stuff like that, you know? Or you could get into like a conversation about moral norms and like, you probably have some interesting conversation there. You know, you're going against certain moral norms and stuff like that. But it's just like, oh, I think it's disgusting. And people think you're disgusting. It's kind of worthless.
Subscribers and earn over 2 million a month. I think there's a lot of people that do not find it disgusting.
I bet every single one of them probably does find it disgusting. And they're probably disgusted in themselves too.
I spend hours and hours a day speaking to them and getting to know them.
Yeah.
You're once again judging and assuming.
Allowing 1,000 penises into one vagina in 12 hours is disgusting.
But the more you talk about it, the more it turns me on.
Yeah, but that is disgusting too.
Okay, bro. Is that all just like sexual harassment? Bro, women get away with so much, dude. That's sexual harassment. Bro, imagine, I hate doing the squad W shit because I'm a bit bored of it. But dude, could you imagine if a guy said that? Someone was railing on a guy for being disgusting and the guy was like, well, the more you talk about it, the more you turn me on. Bro, I mean, fucking hell to pay.
It's not. What, I'm turned on from something I've done?
Yeah, publicly.
So sorry, should I sit here and cry that?
I don't want you to
God,
cry.
I took 1,000
it's not.
guys.
It's not about crying. You don't need to sit and cry that you fucked 1,000 guys. But there's a thing called shame, and we should probably bring that back. What you're doing is so damaging to women as a woman.
Well, women
You're not
find
setting-
everything to complain about.
Not
They'll
really.
cry about anything and everything nowadays.
No, well, yeah, the world is a bit sensitive, but people on camera and like trying to glorify it is something that people should complain about. Women have worked so hard for years and years and years to stop being objectified sexually and to be shown that we are actually more capable of things than we're supposed to be than just as a sexualized object. And you're out here saying, actually, no, I'm a slut. I'll lay down and let anyone f me. I have nothing to prove. I've got no self-worth. You don't have to value me at all. And everything we're working towards, you're just
really
disregarding
I'm helping
it.
the women out.
So I'm saying, you're literally
don't
ruining everything that we've worked towards.
I'm saying instead of, flirting with that woman across the road who doesn't want to be wolf whistled and is going to cry about the fact she had a wolf whistle, I'm saying just come and f me.
But they're still going to do it. And the fact that you're normalizing the behavior of being a whore constantly is making men think, okay, women are more accessible now. And
I feel like the increase, I don't think this is a thing. If anything, women getting wolf whistled at and stuff, I think there's been a diminishment of that kind of behavior because of a cultural push towards the acceptance of. I don't know if that's a thing. I mean, I don't know, bro. I can't remember the last time I fucking heard someone get wolf whistled at or something like that. So I think there has been a shift in cultural norms of how random women in the street are treated, and I don't think the porno stuff is necessarily that's the problem. It's an increased focus and attention on sexuality in every facet of our daily existence. Yeah, the builders were the last holdout, and even they've stopped. Dude, I don't know what it's like in America, right? But like when I walk around the UK and you walk past a building site, it's all just like fucking locked in guys trying to get shit done. Do you know what I mean? They're not sat there like looking around, oh, they're just like fucking getting shit fucking sorted. The kind of lazy builder meme. I don't know, man. They just all seem to be getting on with their work. They don't have time to be looking about for birds to wolf whistle at.
And they think they have more chance with other women being like that because you're making it like it's a normal thing when it's not.
See, there is a point you can make about this,
but the
right?
Interviewer is suffering deep collectivist derangement.
Thank you for the super chat. There is a kind of mild form of sexual harassment that women are subjected to because of OnlyFans. Very mild. I'm not saying it's good, but I'm just saying it's not like there's other forms of sexual harassment that are worse. But it's when women who post stuff on the internet that are not sexual or pornographic get asked if they've got an OnlyFans. Right? Like that is a sort of form of sexual harassment because you're basically saying, where can I pay to see your pussy? Do you know what I mean? And that's like a shitty thing to do. So I think that that's the kind of thing that gets normalized with this sort of like behavior. Something like that you could talk about. But I mean, the wolf whistling thing just seems like a non-issue.
The other thing is, it's clearly not normal because not everyone 1,000 people.
Yeah.
But I, before every video, say, hey, this is what I enjoy. This is what I like. This is what I'm consented to.
Yeah.
This does not mean your wife at home and your wet wipes and girlfriends are going to enjoy this. But this is what I like. And this is my body. And as a woman, I'm taking control.
And that's absolutely fine, like I said, to do it privately. But to be out there so publicly with it, when there's little girls that are going to see this and maybe one day be confused or be stuck or in a rut somewhere where they're feeling a bit
about
bored.
5 years old, you could be a boy or a girl nowadays. If I want 1,000 people and they see that, I don't think that's the biggest issue.
But it is though, isn't it? Because as a little girl, when you are growing up and you are confused or you don't know, or you might like, someone's in a dead-end job and they think they're going to look at you and might consider, okay, maybe I should just sell my body. It's the easy way out and I'll just be a whore too. That's not a great example to set for any person. And as a woman, you should try, especially a woman who has a platform that you have now, should try and do something to help women, to uplift women, to make us feel secure, to make us feel safe, and to make us feel empowered. Whereas you...
Dude, this is so stupid, bro. This is so stupid. What right have you got to dictate? Dude, this is so annoying that this woman is fucking so stupid. What right have you got to dictate what Bonnie Blue does with the platform that she's built? Right? She's built a platform off of being a deranged sex whore, getting fucked by thousands of guys, and now you want to lecture him, oh no, you need to do this, what I think actually. Listen, if Bonnie Blue started posting screeds about women's rights on her OnlyFans, most of the people would fucking leave because they're not there for that. They're not there for a take on women's issues. They're here to watch her get railed by a bunch of dudes. That's what they fucking signed up for. Like, dude, it's like so over. Just call her a whore and be done with it. This is so ridiculous and absurd at this point that you're demanding that she does certain things with a platform that you got no right to demand.
You just say, actually, we're not empowering, just lay down and be a wet rag for everyone, and that's it.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, oh, don't worry about having sex with your husband. I'll do it for you. I'm saving people a job.
But you're not, actually, because you're ruining people's marriages. Why would you want to someone's husband?
If their husband wants to sleep with me and not talk about it with their wife, their marriage is already There's nothing to do with me.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not a
but why
marriage
would you want to
counsellor.
entertain that situation anyway?
Because if they're not having sex with their partner, I will happily do it on repeat.
Okay. Why, dude? This is so irritating. That's correct, by the way. I totally agree with that. I mean, dude, she's single. If a guy wants to play away, like, that is genuinely like a stupid anti-woman take, because it's like, you know, the woman is just there. The man's deciding to do it. He's making the decision to participate in that. You know, it's like the foul temptress meme. Well, yeah, it takes two to tango. And you could say there's some criticism but the issue issue is the guy that's choosing to do it, because he's the one that's then cheating when he could just not cheat.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't discriminate whether you're married, 18 or 80. I'll take anybody.
You'd fuck an old man.
Oh yeah, of course I would. Old men deserve sex. I mean, the wife might be dead.
So you really will just have sex with anybody in this whole world?
Well, like this last few days with my grandma, like if I was walking around Hyde Park and someone was like, oh, go on, should we do a quick gangbang? I would say, oh no, can I feed the birds first with my grandma, then meet me back at mine? Like, obviously it's not every single day.
Yeah.
Like, I could not physically take 1,000 guys every day. I'd probably be split in half. But like on the days I want it, I'll have it.
Wonderful.
But that's what I
How
mean.
do I
Isn't
make
that something that
money
you'd want to
off
do
depressed
privately?
Thank you for the super chats.
Though, why did you try and glorify? That's my only issue. It's not that you want to 1,000 men, because like I said, it's your body, do what you like. But it's the fact that you try to glorify it, like it's a beautiful thing that you're doing, like every woman should do it, but it's not.
No, but I'm not saying every woman. I've never said that.
But you're saying if that...
Dude, that's so stupid, man. She said earlier she's not saying that. Dude, when Ayella, and obviously it's not for this conversation, when Ayella says this is a normal expression of female sexuality, that is more reasonable to make a criticism of her broadening out this thing. But she clearly said earlier she doesn't think every woman should do this. Dude, how is Bonnie winning this? This is so annoying, dude. This is where empty moral frogging, just saying something is disgusting, gets you, by the way. Like, it's fine if you want to say something is disgusting, but you're going to need a bit more fucking meat on the bone before Bonnie sucks it off in order to debate Bonnie Blue about this. You need to have something more than just, I'm disgusted by you. This kind of like disgust response doesn't really work in a debate setting or a discussion like this.
That's what you enjoy, you should go and do it.
Yeah, because if you enjoy something, I'm not saying that's 1,000
But what
men.
about if I said I really enjoy murdering people? Should I just go around and kill everyone?
No,
Okay, is this bitch retarded? You're killing someone else. A third party is getting tremendously harmed by your action. In a demonstrable, clear way, their life has been ended by your action. You've taken their life from them. That is unquestionably a worse and more egregious moral act than fucking letting 1,000 guys fuck you. God, it's so stupid. What a stupid point.
That's illegal. The difference is what I'm doing is legal.
Okay, but morally, take illegality out of it. Morally, they're both very wrong things to be doing.
Morals aren't factual. Everyone has...
Okay, this is a stupid response too, to be fair, but like, yes, morally murder is worse. What sort of... See, she's also retarded in what she's saying too. I just ate 6 hot dogs and I feel like I'm going to burst. How does Bonnie do it?
different morals.
Yeah.
For some people, because I'm not religious, like, oh my God, you're going to hell.
Yeah.
Like, I've slept with 1,000 people. Oh, so now I'm going to hell. Like, morals aren't factual.
Okay.
So if you said, I enjoy murdering
But naturally,
people,
as humans, we are born with a set of morals.
No, we're not. What? No, we're not. No, quite literally not. What? Dude, that's just not what? Dude? That's not true at all. Sorry, what morals are you born with exactly? You're a fucking baby that can't think beyond fucking feeding. You're taught your morals as you grow. Bro, this is ridiculous, bro. A baby has got no moral fucking concept. They don't know. They, through their culture and teaching and learning and parenting and school, learn morals. It's why Someone that is born in the West, right, will think it's, well, I mean, what's something that is unequivocally true as like a moral principle of the West that is the opposite in like the Middle East? Because I was going to say about how it's, you know, it's considered bad to murder gay people for being gay. But then I thought, you know, at least 25% of my chat would probably agree with the fucking Middle East position on that. Don't fuck goats. Okay. Bug eating. Bug eating. Bug eating or something. Oh, fucking cows. In certain religion, cows are sacred, right? But then even that isn't universal. Women's rights. Well, dude, that's the same problem as the gay thing with most of my audience. Especially Stylo. Okay, dude, call it with the anti-Afghani remarks in chat, please. But you know what I'm trying to get at, right? Is a person born... Well, forget the country thing. A person born in the same country can have different morals depending on what pathway they go through life, right? So, no child is born with morals. I mean, what the fuck, where are you even getting this from? Have you thought about this for more than 1 second? What moral does a fucking baby have, which is just an instinct, you know, they've got no thoughts in their head. They are literally just feeding, sleeping, shitting. Like, there's no thought process there. There's no moral analysis there.
Naturally.
Well, I don't think I was born at 1 year old thinking I'm going to have a gangbang. Like,
no,
that wasn't in my head.
But that's what I mean. Along the way, somewhere during your lifetime, you have lost your morals.
I enjoy it, and I'm doing nothing wrong. I'm not hurting anybody. If anything, I've got liquid evidence of doing the opposite.
You're not hurting anybody, but you are damaging society.
I'm draining balls and sucking. That's what I'm doing. I'm not damaging society.
But you're doing it publicly.
Okay,
yeah, of course.
So you could make an argument that she's damaging society, but you need to back that up with some point, some argument, some thing you can point to that has a direct line to what she does. You can't just say you're damaging society. Well, how? What is happening that's damaging society then?
You're trying to glorify it, but you shouldn't be proud of it. It's not.
I live a very glamorous life, so why would I not glorize it?
Because you're making money off of being by barely legal boys.
And you don't think girls try and have sex all the time and have sex to work the way to the top?
Work the way to the top of what?
Just the businesses. Like, people have sex all the time. It's not just to earn money for OnlyFans.
There's some innate behaviour that are genetically built into us. But that's not because of morals, right? The reason that you don't sleep with a sibling, right, is innately because you have a certain process that you go through when you live with your family that means that you don't have a sexual attraction to them, right? So that's like a sort of a biological thing or something. I don't fucking know what you call it. But then the morals is different to that. The moralistic analysis of incest is a different thing that's occurring there to just having a biological, like, what is it? I don't know what it is. You know, you see about it in these stories. You see about it in these stories where it's like, you know, long lost siblings meet up and don't know their siblings and have this crazy attraction to each other. And it's like, oh, your brother and sister, by the way, because they haven't grown up together. So they haven't developed that kind of like, you know, incest resistance or something. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's a thing. I don't think I'm talking out my ass with that. But, you know, even that, like long lost siblings will meet up and sleep together and without realizing they're brother and sister, because at that point, it's not like an instinctive thing. It's like a moral thing of realizing, you know?
Fans. Like, I've worked in offices. People have had promotions because they've had sex with their boss. I've met multiple rappers and singers. They've got girls literally in their DMs begging to have sex with them just to get a bit of attention, a bit of money. Yeah. And they're doing that behind the closed doors.
But this is because we're in a generation now where women have been told that it's okay to sexualize our bodies, and we're going backwards. We've got this whole OnlyFans thing now where everyone's just like glorifying being a prostitute.
Yeah, but I personally see like women have been sexualized all the time.
Exactly. And we worked so hard to bring ourselves out of that so that we weren't just sexualized beings. Men used to go to war for women because of how respected and loved we were. Now all they have to do is pay £5 a month.
OnlyFans to me was a platform which allows women to be empowered and take control back.
So if you weren't getting paid and you weren't getting any clout Would you still do what you do?
Oh, I'd still do gangbangs, yeah.
Would you still 1,000 men in a day?
Yeah, because I want to test my body.
Why don't you like test if you can run a marathon?
No, I'm not having a midlife crisis. I don't need to do a marathon.
So do you want to have children?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure. Like before, like I was fixated. I was like, oh, to be happy, you need to be married. Then you have children, and then, you know, that's sort of what life is. But now, like, I don't know.
So you don't know if you have kids?
No, I don't know.
If you were to have children and you had a son,
Yeah.
and he turned 18, how would you feel if he slept with someone like you?
Yeah, I'd love it.
Okay, that's fucking like... That's pretty deranged. That feels like bullshit to me. I don't think that's true. This is like a classic parentless take of like thinking you think a certain thing about someone. I do not believe that if this person had a son, they'd be like pushing them or willingly allowing them to go and do something like this. That doesn't sound right to me. If this interviewer was real, right, they would ask, right, you were saying earlier about how you can teach men about bodies. Would you do that with your own son? Would you have incestual sex with your own son when he turns 18?
You'd love it.
Yeah, obviously
So
not me. I don't want to sleep with my actual son, but
Yeah,
I
of
would
course.
send
Okay.
him
Just answer
to
it, to be fair.
prostitutes, looks like whoever I'd put him in someone
So
else's
you'd prefer
queue.
him to prostitute than just like fall in love nicely with a nice girl and have sex that
How
way?
unrealistic is that to say? Who falls in love at 18, gets married and has sex with the, you know, loses their virginity to the person they get married? Does not happen.
I mean, it probably happens more than people that 1,000 men in a day. And if you had a daughter and she said, you know, Mummy, I want to be just like you,
yeah.
and you'd be happy and you'd watch your daughter just f everyone.
Yeah, I'd obviously explain the benefits, the downsides to it, the dangerous potential. Like, I'll explain every aspect. If they choose to do that, I will raise my daughter to be independent and to follow her dreams. If that is to 1,000 people, I'll be there with a banner supporting her the whole way.
No,
That is-
dude. This is cope. This is like childless cope shit. I don't believe this. I don't buy that.
Really scary. It's not about, oh, you know what, I don't really like that sandwich, but you like that sandwich, so we can agree to disagree. It is wrong. Hands down, point blank, period. It's wrong.
your period.
And it's disgusting.
Okay.
And it's
All this woman's got is it's wrong and it's disgusting.
Okay, that's wonderful.
That's it.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
Her kids would come out like the Zion people. Just monstrous amalgamations of various incompatible races.
Okay, dude. Incompatible races. Okay. Thank you for the 333, Anonymous.
not something that should be glorified, and it's not something that should be pushed, and it's definitely not something that we should encourage our children to be doing, especially our daughters. As a woman to a woman,
Why especially our
raising
daughter? Why are
child-
we making any difference between male and female?
Because it is completely different.
if a guy wants to f someone and a girl wants to f someone,
Yeah.
it's completely the same. This
No,
is what
it's
I don't
not. Do we both
understand.
have vaginas?
No, one's got
No,
a,
one
one's
goes
got a pussy.
inside and one gets entered. And
God,
one,
and dicks get sore as well. Like, I've worked with porn
I never
stars.
said that they don't get
So
sore.
it's the same.
But it's
my
an
point
energy transfer.
Is male and female are the same. We need to start treating them as the same
But
people.
they're not
It's an energy transfer. Okay.
the same.
They are. If they want a 1,000 guys or a
Yeah.
1,000 girls, it's completely up to them.
How would you explain to your husband who you are and what you do?
I mean, you probably already know. And he's probably going to be someone that's I've already slept with or that's been in the queue beforehand.
Has there anyone who's ever been in the queue beforehand that you actually did like or find attractive and pursued further?
Yeah,
How many?
multiple times.
Okay. What, like romantically or just sexually?
Like romantically gone on dates with, like continued to see afterwards. Like the people in my queue, and I could sort of understand. I used to think when I first got into this industry, I started off camming. I
Okay,
thought,
that's
oh, it's just
wonderful.
going to be
But how do
disgusting
I
men.
make money
Hey.
off depressed people?
Did you miss? I think Bonnie said a little earlier that boys can trans out at 4 years old, so who cares?
Thank you for the super chat. Well, I think the point that's being made. I mean, obviously, I think the point that she's making is, why would you care about? I can't remember what it was in response to, but it was just pointing out how absurd society is getting in other ways with some of this stuff. Thank you for the $5.
Online that are just weird. Like in my head, I was just thinking of like fat, ugly, smelly weirdos, probably quite old men. And then when I just started
That's me.
camming online, I was like, oh my God, these are normal people. These are people you'd pass in the street and not think twice of.
Yeah.
Like they're just good looking, normal guys. And each guy's got a different story. Like when I was on cam, some of them were just lonely. Some of them, they just had children and their wife was so busy looking after them that they hadn't been like sexually active, which is fine. You don't want to put pressure on your wife. Like, obviously you should not do that. So then they just wanted to come online and speak to somebody. So they wasn't weird. They just wanted to have a connection and just have some intimate moment with somebody. Other people, their wife didn't want to have sex anymore, but he still absolutely adored her, but he wanted,
sexual activity.
Yeah, for sure.
So do you condone cheating?
Yeah.
You condone cheating?
There's always different scenarios with cheating. But yeah, before I'd have been like, oh, if your partner cheats, he doesn't love you. He doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, I think she's talking about can it. Probably the Temptress meme. Well, I think what she's talking to there is like, there is the perception. I mean, there used to be, a long time ago, the porn consumer perception was like, it's kind of gone full circle a bit, because it used to be that it's like they're weird, like perverts. And then it went to like, whoa,
Okay, that's
normal guys
wonderful.
look at porn.
But
And
how
now we've
do
got
I
like the
make
Gouda
money
meme.
off depressed people?
An energy transfer? Didn't Lily say something similar? Are these women literal woo-laden succubi?
I think that's what she said in response to the idea that men and women are different, men and women are the same. But yeah, thank you for the super chat, Caleb. But yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, sure. Obviously, there's, you know, normal people. I mean, I think the idea of talking in a camp, dude, that's a bit, I don't know, dude. I guess I can see the point of like they're not like complete freaks, but going and talking in someone's campsite chat, there's a level of, I mean, dude, am I being hypocritical because I've got a chat myself? I don't know, but it just feels a bit unusual to go to a chat and to engage sexually with someone in that context. I just find that very bizarre, personally. You know, like, oh, hey, yeah, get your snatch out, why don't you? And you're like paying them and stuff, and you've got that, like, you're one of many men that's watching. Find it very bizarre and unusual. But, you know, I can understand what she's saying. It's like they're not like these trench coat wearing freaks that are like, you know, jerking off at the bus stop, right? They're like a married guy who can't get off sexually because his wife isn't interested in sex and whatever, and so they've got to find it elsewhere, you know? But yeah, I think, yeah. I think Silent but Dudley's got a point here. Husband going to a porn star to chat is bizarre and borderline emotional cheating. I think, yeah, it's like jerking off to some random porn star on the internet, whatever. But it's when you go into their chat. It's like, I think you need to get more explicit consent to do that in terms of it not being cheating, right? Because you're having a sexualized, personalized, well, somewhat personalized interaction with a third party. Yeah, like you're getting personal with them. Yeah. I don't know. That's a bit like, probably need to get wife say so on that one before you participate in that. Otherwise, I think that probably is a form of cheating. But then she's saying she doesn't care about cheating, so whatever, I guess. But yeah, I think that would reasonably be considered cheating.
I want to be with you. But then when I started becoming a sex worker and I'd speak to so many men, they'd be like, no, I absolutely adore my wife, I adore my children, but she doesn't want to have sex anymore. But as a guy, he's still had needs, he still wanted to have sex. So for him, going to a sex worker was much better, and I completely agree, than having an intimate affair with somebody you work with, somebody you see on a regular basis. If it's a slut like me, there isn't a connection. I probably won't even remember you the next day. So for them, they were just paying for a service, just like you would any other appointment, and then you're leaving.
Yeah.
It wasn't getting emotionally connected to me. It was just I'm a cum bucket, come on me, leave, go back to your wife. And then they're sort of refreshed. They're ready to go again with their crazy life at home. So it's not...
Whoa! Imagine that conversation. Oh, darling, I know things have been a bit awkward in the bedroom for the last few years. I've just seen this advert here, this absolute cum bucket called Bonnie Blue. And apparently, I can just go, come on her, and then come home. What do you think? Oh, yes, that'll be lovely, darling. No problem at all. What a ridiculous conversation to have. Presenting the 1,000-man gangbang option because wifey doesn't want to fucking suck your cock.
They don't love their wife and children, but it was a de-stress for them.
And then how about if you were married and you just had children and then your husband went and f***ed someone else? Would you still have that same mindset?
Yeah.
So I don't think you would.
So it's the thing, everyone says to me, I don't think you would. Oh my God, you're a suicide case waiting to happen. Oh, in the future this.
I mean, in the future, yeah, there is going to be long-term detrimental effects
See,
to what
everyone
you're
just
doing.
talks about long-term. If I'd have said to you, I want to sleep with 1,000 men, you would have said to me, you're not going to be okay after that. You'll not be smiling, you'll not be walking out. I did sleep with 1,000.
Yeah, queuing for 4 hours to get 45 seconds on Bonnie Blue because your wife wouldn't touch it. I just think if you reach a point where your sexual relationship with your wife I mean, obviously things change over time, I get that. But if it gets to a point where it's like, the only option is to go and have a gangbang with Bonnie Blue, there's probably some problems with your relationship, right? Unless you're like really old, unless you're like super old or something, where everyone, you know, menopause, libido's gone, whatever. You know, I think that at younger ages, I mean, come on, dude, that's like, what's going on there? There must be some sort of sexual connection still, even if it's like once a month or something. I don't know, once a week, something like that.
I'm smiling, I am happy. We can't sit here and have a conversation and go, in the future this, in the future
yeah.
that. Like, nobody knows. However, when I do speak about sex work so proudly, people are still like, oh, you must be lying. Like,
Yeah.
I very clearly live a very happy life. Even though it pisses everyone off that I do this and I do it so proudly,
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. And I'm not promoting it for other people. I'm saying you probably can't do it. You're probably not hot enough, probably not got the cardio strength in the bedroom because, God, it's a lot of work. But I'm saying this is what I do and I'm happy. So no, I'm not a suicide case waiting to happen or, you know,
The only long-term effect for me is every time you have a sexual encounter with anybody and a man enters you, there is DNA, there is traces of DNA. They live up to in your side of you for like 7 years.
Yeah.
Okay, is this true? I don't know. I don't think this is true, is it? Well, what do they mean by traces of your DNA? Oh, what are we talking about here? It's kind of true. Look it up. Ask Maya. Oh, dude, I totally forgot about my Our Dogs Monogamous croc search earlier. I got massively sidetracked. And now I've lost it. Dude. I'm not going to search it again. We're never going to know. We're never going to find out.
And there's also an energy transfer. I don't know if you're spiritual. I probably don't think you are at all. No. But spiritually, there is an energy transfer. And it's very hard if you even sleep with 2 or 3 men to maintain any sort of real connection with anybody because you have shared energies inside of you, plus all the shared DNA. So for you to have thousands inside of
I'm just going to disregard what this woman is saying purely off the back of that then. I don't think that sounds like...
McBeag became a member. McBeag celebrates 8 months of membership. Is confusing swallowing spunk with swallowing bubble gum?
Thank you for the membership.
you all at once. Mentally, over the years, it will have an impact. You will probably lose your character. You probably wonder why you don't feel right all the time, and it's because you have this massive energy bulge of just thousands and thousands of different men inside of you all living at once, coexisting.
That's something I'd wank over and I've got that.
1,000 men lit. Dude, what is she on about, dude? This is ridiculous. What? This is complete nonsense. The dark semen magic. What is she banging on about? Thousands of men living inside you. Jesus.
All their energy inside of me. But like, I don't know many girls that've got a body count less than 2 or 3.
No, not many, but like there's...
So then everyone's fucked.
Do you not see that there's clearly some sort of trauma there? There's something that's unhinged and not right inside, because obviously if it was a normal thing, everyone would be doing it. But for it to be this extreme, there is something not right there. That is going to click one day and it is going to bite you.
Okay, I mean, this is just like, it's just stupid, man. This person is a total moron. And it's a shame that there's not someone that can actually put, like, you know, certain actual issues to Bonnie Blue. I mean, you need to fucking do your research. I mean, you know, there's obviously lots of stats about OnlyFans and the median income and what it is and the fucking Pareto principle of it, all this other shit. But instead we're talking about the energies of getting cream pied. I mean, what is going on here?
You in the arse, and you are going to feel the repercussions of your actions, because
it's just not going to happen.
It is. Whether it's a week or a year or 10 years from now, you are going to look back. And
you also could be hit by a bus next year and die.
I mean,
you can't live your life going, oh, what if...
Energy transfer is wrong. However, on a chemical level, there's a certain level of serotonin release, which is scientifically proven. Sure, there's obviously like a connection. Like this idea that you can just go around and fuck a bunch of people and there's never any connection. I mean, I don't know. That's obviously silly. I think there probably is some connection in like a normal sleeping around thing. But we're talking about, like, she doesn't even know who's fucking her. she's getting fucked for 40 seconds by some random dude. I mean, what connection is happening there? Like, obviously, there's a different dynamic here, bearing in mind how the sex is happening in this circumstance.
If this happens, oh, this is going to come back and get you. But
no, but we are supposed to live our
day...
lives morally right, and we try and do right by ourselves, especially by ourselves, let alone anybody else. We come first. So to carry yourself with no value, no.
See, I would have been upset with myself if I stayed in recruitment, stayed in my marriage, stayed in the fancy house I brought in.
But
nice
no,
car.
no, I don't want you to live an unhappy life.
No, but I would have got older and thought, okay, yes, I've been well respected. Everyone, you know, really values me.
Yeah.
And yes, my morals and values look like they're completely intact. I would have got older and thought, what have I done in life that was for me? What have I been super passionate about? Like, I wasn't, but now I found something that makes me super happy. And even my family see how much happier I am.
So your family support what you do?
Super supportive.
So they don't like you?
No, they're super supportive.
But they don't like you. They might support what you do. Because genuinely anybody...
What, dude? Are you really trying to... Dude, what? What would you fuck do you know about it, dude? How do you know how a family feels about her? Where the fuck are you getting any of this from? Bizarre. Totally bizarre to try and act like you know better than her about how a family feels about her.
Who cared about you. Anybody who cared about your mom, your dad, your sister, your partner, anybody who cared.
My family's supportive, but they don't like you then. Well, you probably need something to present, like, I don't know, a fucking mum post some shit about her or something like that. They don't like you. That's a fact, by the way, because that's how I feel. Yeah, exactly.
About you.
Yeah.
Wouldn't encourage what you're doing.
I'm not saying they're saying, oh my God, go and sleep with 1,000 people. However, I'm an independent woman.
Of course
so if I decide to go and do that, they're just going to be there to support me.
No, that's not how caring for somebody works. If I see someone spiraling, somebody I genuinely care about spiraling down a path of self-destruction, I am going to step in and I'm going to say, babe, listen, what you're doing is wrong. You are going to regret it. It's not healthy. It's not great. It's really bad. You look atrocious.
Yeah.
I'd be very honest with them, and I would do everything in my power to help them come off of that and you know, to live a nice, humble life again, where they won't destroy themselves.
So that's like, it just goes back to your opinion. But my family is super supportive. They always have been.
But then, are they just supportive because now they just see you as an exploitation for financial gain? If you was
what, dude? Like, this is just bizarre. Like, you know, slinging out concepts and hoping. Wow, do they just, you know, support you for financial reasons? How do you fucking know? I don't literally. This is like the worst line of attack you could make because you just don't know. You just don't know what's going on there. And if there was some sort of evidence you had of like the family posting or there was some, you know, claim that they were taking money or using the money in some way, or like Bonnie Blue had paid off their family's house or something like that, there's some ground where maybe you could make this point. But you're just kind of taking shots in the dark, hoping something hits. This interviewer is jealous this slut is rich.
as a broke person, you lived in a normal house and you was doing this and you weren't making any money, they wouldn't support you.
They would.
They would reel you in, and I don't feel like they would support you. I feel like you're just.
I've known my family my whole life. You've never even spoke to them. Like I said, you like to make all these assumptions.
Yeah.
Like the men are disgusted. Oh, your family don't support you. Yeah.
No, I just said your family do support you, but because
they don't like
exploiting you for an financial gain.
Sorry, my family don't like me. But
No, they can't like you.
But I'm sat here telling you they do. So I don't care how you need to swallow that.
Yeah.
They do.
Well, yeah, exactly, dude. It's just worthless. Where do you hope to go with that? Your family, the relationship with which I know much less about than you do, obviously, I know nothing. I'm going to make claims about what your family think about you, baselessly. It's ridiculous. If you had an article of dad saying, oh, this is disgusting and I don't support it, you're fucking laughing. You're onto something there. God, dude. This is, I mean, it is hard to argue against someone that just doesn't care about stuff in some respect, but it's like she's bringing the worst possible arguments to the table.
But like I said, I could sit here and tell you, my family are very much in my life. Whether you accept that or not, I don't care. But they are. They're very supportive. They adore me. They just want me to be happy. And that is it. It's as simple as that.
So how do you see your career going, like, in the future? Like, do you have bigger goals? Do you have, like, is it going to be like 2,000 men now, or is it just...
Honestly, I don't know. Like, what I've, say, achieved in the last 6 to 12 months, I didn't even know was possible for me. Even in terms of, like, I've currently got a documentary being made and TV crew follow me near enough just about everywhere, and even the money aspect. And my life in general has improved so much over the last 6 to 12 months that the goals I've hit wasn't even in my 5 to 10 year plan, but I've now achieved it in 6 months. So it's hard to say this is what the next 5 years are going to look like. And there's never really been a sex worker like me.
Is your whole life just content sex?
I have like some personal sex, but I generally don't.
Dude, wait, I didn't see this.
Okay, that's wonderful.
But Elon
how do
Musk
I
has like
make
actually
money
walked it
off
back.
depressed people?
Chud, help. I have taken too many cocks in a 24-hour period. I am blown out by the copious amounts of BBC and sperm. Fuck all the sperm. Help.
Thank you for the tip. Wait, I didn't know this, that he'd done this. I regret some of my posts about President Donald Trump last week. They went too far. Yeah, dude. Bro, I'm in the house buying stage of my life at the moment, okay? Earlier today, I was speaking to a fucking mortgage guy, and then I was going and booking up fucking viewings. I'm not sat there looking to see what Elon Musk has said on Twitter, bro. You need to put it in my Discord, and I'll see it then. That's the thing. Because I'll check my Discord before I go live, see if there's any topics that are of interest. But yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, I should be... I'm trying to find a place that is like chain free, so I don't have to like wait for like the process to go through and them to move, or the chain of people to move. I send so much of this shit and you'd never care. Well, I mean, you just, you know, if I don't know what to tell you, bro. Some stuff is not of interest and other stuff is. I can't really explain. I can't explain to you exactly in my own head what I'm going to be interested in. But I did speak about this spat the other day. And so this is the kind of thing that I'd be interested in just briefly talking about. But earlier today, of course, we were unfortunately otherwise engaged with Tommy C's fantastic arguments about how much of a snake I am. Come on, Chud, you follow the most mundane drama. I'm not saying that I'm not saying I'm above anything. But this tweet happened 12 hours ago. And I'm saying that I've been busy today, so I didn't have a chance to catch up and see that this had happened, you know? I'm not above anything. Dude, I cover absolute fucking ridiculous shit sometimes. I just didn't see it. Did Chud even look at the new Tommy guys? Bro, what am I supposed to do, bro? I'm supposed to cover every single aspect of Tommy C going fucking insane at me. I mean, dude, it's ridiculous. This is what I'm saying. Just have a fucking phone call. Apparently he's posted a bunch of tweets about me. There's some video that he put out. You know, and he's like, oh, yeah, well, I got you talking about that, didn't I? And it's like, he's like conspiratorializing everything that's happening. You know, he's like fucking acting like there's all this big conspiracy at every turn. There's some other post where apparently he's in his Discord and he's talking about how there's going to be some sort of attempt to strike a deal to get his silence. Like, bro, he has gone fucking insane, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Like, what? Dude, I can't... It's ridiculous. I can't dedicate multiple hours of my stream to talking about fucking Tommy C, who's decided that I'm the new target of his fucking ire, you know, and wants to fucking prove to everyone that I'm some fucking snake. On the basis of, like, no fucking decent evidence. You know, and it's like, apparently he's talking about wanting to react to my video. And then, I mean, if he doesn't want to have a conversation after that, and I want to have a conversation on stream, I'm not doing any fucking behind-the-scenes shit now with him. I mean, what am I supposed to do? What, react to him reacting to me? It's fucking ridiculous. Well, the thing is, if he wants, we can arrange it at a time that we can both stream it. You know, I'm not saying it has to be on my stream, and I don't want to call into his stream and just give him free content. But we could do it at a time that is mutually convenient, and we could both stream it if we want to, you know? So, I don't know what to say. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to continuously talk about everything he's got to say about me. I've said my piece twice now. Once, I didn't watch the video on stream, but I had watched it. And the second time round, I watched his segment about it and responded to every point that was made. So, I don't know. Just seems like this all could have been fucking sorted with a simple call on or off stream. But now it's, you know, it's just turned into some insane, stupid, pointless, ridiculous, unnecessary fucking blowout drama thing. Stupid, pointless, totally pointless, you know?
Don't have that much sex off camera. Like, there's the occasional time, but like, no, I'm not having like crazy gangbangs all the time off camera. So I enjoy videoing it as well. Like, it's, yes, it's for work and yes, I get paid, but I love watching the videos back. Like, the first thing I do after gangbangs is like, I want to see the footage. I want to see the clips. You'd be disgusted and revolted by it.
Yeah,
to me,
absolutely.
I love it. I'm like, oh my God, look how like much I'm being stretched out.
I don't think I could watch it.
Look at that
I
guy's
genuinely
dick touching
think
my eyeball.
my heart would hurt watching that for you. Just
See,
like,
I find it fun. Like, recently, I dwarf. I went upside down. I had 4 other porn stars and another guy twisting him whilst he's inside of me. And I just thought that was so much fun. I was like, what better thing could I be doing on this evening as opposed to being upside down with a hanging out of my pussy?
So obviously we are very different, so we're going to have completely different opinions on that. But why do you think that most women hate you?
Because I'm a sex worker, because I speak so proudly of it. Like, yeah, it might be because I've slept with their husband and son, but as a whole, it's because I'm so proud of what I do and the way I speak about it.
Yeah.
And when I look at these videos online, one of the main things they say is, oh, if this was a guy saying it, he'd be arrested. Oh, you're only getting away with this because you're a woman. Guys have sexualized women from the early stage. Like, schoolgirl content has always been the thing that's always been trending on porn. Suddenly I'm a woman. Yes, it makes me feel empowered. I know you don't agree, but I'm suddenly saying, hey, I'm the older woman and I'm going to sexualize schoolboys.
Yeah.
And the women have got an issue with that. Yeah, I never see a TikTok of them going, oh my God, I was scrolling on the hub the other day and there was a schoolgirl that was sexualized by an older guy. Because that is so common to us.
Yeah, it is very common.
Yes.
I mean, I think it became common, but I think it probably now is like gone off being common, right? Is this still a thing? I feel like there's been a cultural shift against that sort of thing. Did you see the menswear guy controversy?
Okay,
no,
that's
but I do want to
wonderful.
cover that.
But how do I make
So we'll probably do that
money
tomorrow
off
for the
depressed
politics
people?
Hi,
pre-thing.
Chud, sorry, Ab Tommy, at least it's funny.
I don't know why you're apologising on behalf of Tommy. It's fine. Thank you for the $5. It's all good. It happens, you know. Just thank fuck it's not about green M&Ms this time, eh?
Suddenly, I've caused the biggest uproar because I've sexualized schoolboys. And in my head, I'm like, they're the same thing. Whether you think it's right or wrong, I can't understand that these women...
Okay, it's still popular on the hub, just checked. Okay, well, thank you for your journalistic diligence. Okay? Thank you for that. But what I'm saying is, I think that there would be outrage about it broadly now. And I don't think it would be, like, it's kind of like tucked away somewhere for people to find, not like openly out there to, you know, for people to be like if you're in like a pub, right? If you're in a pub with like a bunch of mixed people, like if you're with a bunch of fucking pervy mates, maybe, but if you're with like a bunch of mixed people and you were talking about what porn you're into, and someone was talking about how much they love barely legal stuff, people would be like, that's a bit fucking
I
nonsense.
heard Tom Yee stole your big gok girlfriend and now he's bragging about it. Take these $5 for recompense.
Thank you for the $5. Thank you. Appreciate that. Mixed as in gender, not as in fucking race. I said the race part is irrelevant. Okay?
Are banging on saying, I want things to be equal.
Yeah.
Yeah, have an issue with me as opposed to the schoolgirls that are being
But
sexualized.
there is an issue with schoolgirls being sexualized. It's always
But
been
they're not the
thing.
ones that causing the uproar.
No, I know. The reason you're causing an uproar is because as women, we know what it was like to be sexualized as a schoolgirl. To then go and do it to schoolboys, knowing that it's wrong and it's detrimental to them, especially to like...
The schoolgirls that continue to be sexualized, they don't have an issue with that. They're never speaking about it.
I actually speak about it quite often. I speak about it on podcasts and stuff. I
Yeah.
know a few people that I know personally do speak about the overly sexualized of, especially when you were in school uniform. You could have made so much money with your dignity and your pride still intact, your vagina still intact, everything's still
It's still
just,
very, very tight.
I can't imagine it. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, what, so you're saying the women that then have had children, they're not tight?
No, because they naturally bounce back if you understand how the woman's body works. After,
So they're in
after they
labour
have a child.
Sometimes they're in labour for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
I was only being for 12 hours.
And it's not even just the 12 hours, because you can for 12 hours, but 1,000 men, different shapes and sizes, it really is damaging.
So anybody
to your
that's
vagina.
with a guy that's got like a 12-inch dick,
Yeah.
what, they're just a gaping hole?
Not really, because like I said, our vaginas get used to one penis.
Well, I don't think they do. My vagina will take anybody's and everyone's.
Exactly, and that's why it will misshape and it will rearrange it.
Make sure to check when you go there. Just fucking get a flashlight out and just like, oh my god, hello, cavernous snatch. I mean, look, bit fucking, you know, this idea that getting fucked by a bunch of guys just stretches you out. I mean, I just don't think that that's a real thing. I think the only thing that's applicable to is the anus, because vaginas obviously are designed to be flexible for childbirth. So I don't think that getting fucked by a bunch of guys stretches you out. But if you get fucked in the ass a bunch, I think that can fuck up your anal prolapse situation or something like that, right?
If you're constantly taking different penises, different shapes, different sizes, different
And how long have you been a doctor for?
I'm teaching you something.
Oh, dude, she's got her there. Dude, I don't think this is medically accurate. I don't think it's true that a woman getting fucked by a bunch of dicks has any meaningful impact. I don't think. Come back to me when you're talking about the rate of anal failure in gay men.
About the woman's body, and you're saying, oh, but you're not a doctor, but I'm telling you something that you can go and learn in a book, which is how I learned in a
you
book.
can't get that. You can't look at someone and go, you know what, you've got 2 months left to live, off you go.
No, of course
you
not,
have
because
to
I'm not a
actually...
What book? What book does it say that this is a thing? I don't think this is a thing. Oh my god, dude.
And you have to actually see for yourself.
Yeah.
I'm saying, let's get our pussies out, let's get a dick in, and we can ask the guy who's tighter.
I'm pretty sure I know the answer.
Body Blue set her next OnlyFans shoot. Some fucking annoying woman that's interviewed her. The guy's got to do a fucking side-by-side test. Oh.
So you got banned from Australia?
Yeah, I got given a 3-year ban.
And what was that over?
I was bonking barely legals.
Okay.
So 18-year-olds.
But how would you get banned if it's legal?
So they can actually just discriminate against anybody. Comedians have been banned in the past, people with certain social media backgrounds. Like, you don't have to actually break the law, which I learned. So there was a petition that started to say, get Bonnie Blue banned from Australia because she's sleeping with guys that are underage and not consenting. So when this petition started, I dismissed it because I was like, okay, well, they are consenting and they are of legal age. This petition got 35,000 signatures in just a few days. It was from a lot of angry parents because I was promoting, saying, hey, I'm going to be in Australia, like, I want to sleep with 18-year-olds. And the petition caused a lot of attention and uproar, and it meant my visa got taken off me. But at the time, like I said, I thought, well, unless you're breaking the law,
there's nothing wrong with what you're doing.
There's nothing wrong. But it turns out comedians and people with certain backgrounds have been banned. Like, you don't have to break the law.
You just have to do something immorally wrong.
Not that, like, comedians have made jokes and they've not liked it.
Immorally wrong.
So many different reasons.
Okay. So you can't go for 3 years now.
3
Did
years.
you actually manage?
Hang on a sec. Dude, you don't have to do something morally wrong to get, like, your visa or whatever taken away. Like, a country can, for any reason, just decide they don't want to let you in. Like, you don't have a God-given right to go to a country. And it is just, they have to accept you coming into their country, particularly if you're, you know, doing, like, work and stuff like that. You know? Like, you're allowed to refuse entry to anyone for any reason at any time. It's nothing to do with fucking morals. It's just, we don't want you in our country because we don't feel like it if they want to, you know?
Managed to have sex with anyone while she was out there?
So I lived in Australia for 4 years prior to that.
Yeah.
So I've many people in Australia.
But I thought...
Like, in this case, it's probably just that they don't want to have the kind of national controversy of someone coming to film this deranged, like, porn in their country or something like that, you know?
When you started your content 2 years ago?
Yeah, but I started sex with people in Australia. Like we said, you can do it for fun.
Okay, but were you, like, very active before you started? What was your body...
Your whore visa has been revoked. You're not coming in. Dude, oh God, I don't think I can watch it on stream because it's all content ID'd. But one of my favourite shows that I used to watch, I think I've spoken about this before, is Nothing to Declare, the Australian version. Because you would have these, like, Chinese tourists coming in, and they're constantly trying to bring in the most deranged shit you could imagine. Like, literally just a sack full of bugs. I've seen one where some Chinese fucking tourist has got a sack full of bugs, like live bugs. You're like, what the fuck? Why is he trying to bring that in? You know, and Australia is like a very obviously precise country with its, you know, biodiversity stuff and whatnot. So they don't want anything that's going to impact it. I remember this from The Simpsons, the frog thing. That I remember watching that as a kid, and that's I actually found out about this a bit, and then obviously learned about it more. But the Chinese are constantly trying to circumvent it. And the thing is they'll get fined a lot of the time. But there's literally no reason for it, because you can just declare it to customs, and they'll look at it and tell you. And then if it's not allowed, they take it off you, and then that's the end of it. But they just don't declare it. They don't declare that they've got a sack full of bugs. They're just like thinking it's going to be totally fine to go through. Like, dude, just fucking say what you got in your bag. It's not that. It's fine. We watched it on stream, did we? Nobody told me I couldn't bring my 3,000 crickets to at least get a refund. Dude, I'm getting. I'm repeating myself too much now. It's time to retire.
Before you started this?
Very, very low.
Okay, so you weren't always a whore?
No, not always. I very much enjoyed sex, but that was as far as it went.
Okay, well, thank you for coming today. It was a very interesting conversation. Definitely the most outlandish one I think I've ever had in my life.
Yeah. I think the one thing I'm hoping is you do the stop assuming and you actually experiment.
With sex?
Just in general, if you're going to interview someone,
yeah,
probably do a more in-depth background check. I mean, you could really go in depth with me, like really deep.
Yeah, I can imagine. But mine wasn't an assumption. Mine were more educated guesses or facts.
Assumptions.
Okay, but yeah, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Dude, that was actually quite a fun react. It's good because normally I'd be really like, you know, saying Bonnie Blue's a total fucking
Okay,
this, that,
that's
and the other.
wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Can't really do that there. Thank you for the super chat. Border Force, they need to increase the fines. Well, they need to stop the Chinese tourists coming in. I think that would solve a lot of their problems, you know? But yeah, dude, there's Bird's Nest. That stuff is wild. Dude, I want to watch one. Not all of it, just like one of the Chinese tourists. But I don't know if there's any good copies of it anywhere. It was on some like back-end Sky TV channel, and I just like watch it. I don't. It's just, you know, fun thing to watch.